Great. So let's start. Welcome everyone to Know Wallet Demo 18. Today we got lots of stuff to be reviewed. Let's begin. Before we're waiting for other folks to join, feel free to scan the QR code and get all the links for the Nova, like our Twitter accounts, iOS and Android download links, and all our social media. Or just, enter the linktree.ee/knowwallet. So let's start with the community requested features, which was the version 3.3 release and was delivered, I think it was something like 2 weeks ago. So the goal of that release was to deliver part of the features which we promised under the Kusama Treasury grant, right? And the process was that we asked the community, and we keep asking them for the feedback and for the features that they would like to see in Nova. So that at this time, we decided to pick up the top frequent asked features and deliver them in our scope. So that being said, with the version 3.3, we have delivered a remark version 2 support. We have provided the crowd loans returns in feature and the fiat value. So now you can see when exactly your contribution will be returned to you from certain crowd loan. Also, for the asset screen, we added the search by network and by asset feature because now Nova supports something like 50 networks and more than 100 different assets. So it becomes a bit now, let's say, overcrowded on the asset screen. Now the search feature will be pretty much in handy. And a couple of different improvements such as APR and API calculations for the different staking features, as well as we introduced the default sorting, and I will show why it was needed. So let me quickly switch to the Android emulator. And I think the remark version 2 is pretty straightforward. So now users would be able to see the NFTs which are coming from the singular version 2. So basically all of the NFTs provided by the remark team on the Kusama are now supported in the Nova wallet, right? The crowd-loans added returns in is looking pretty much as it was shown on the slide here. But let's also see how it works on, for example, Kusama. So now we can see that we have a bunch of the crowd loans here. And for example, for the calamari, we can expect our contribution to be returned in 9 days, 11 hours. So starting once that time will be passed, then the calamari project should do the transaction to return all the contribution funds, and users will be able to see this in their balances. The search feature is pretty much straightforward. Now on the main screen, you have this icon, the search icon, of course, which allow you to enter anything. Let's enter, for example, the tour or ZTG, because this is the asset and the network which is in the very end of the assets list. So now you can quickly access it, right? You can just go here, send, and manage your assets, right? Also cool feature to see is that you can enter something like remark token, and you can actually see how many instances of the remark no wallet supports. And actually, hold on, let me switch this off. So yeah, this is basically the Karura, Bifrost, Moonriver, and StateMine. All of them are supported. And if we will type something like DOT token, we will see any derivatives of the DOT token as well as DOT on any parachain that supports it, which is cool. So now we can quickly access them. One of the important features which was mentioned here, asset and network default sorting, is very useful for the new users, right? So whenever they create a wallet, and they will now see that Polkadot and Kusama networks are prioritized on the top, and the rest of the networks and assets are in the alphabet order. That's very important because previously we had, I think it was Akala on the top, right? And users were trying to receive DOT tokens in Akala network, but they were trying to send it from centralized exchanges, right? So the addresses were not matching between the Akala and Polkadot networks. So it was kind of the UX, UX thing. So now with the default sorting, it would be easier for them to, receive or deposit tokens from the centralized exchange to the blockchain account that they have. So that's a version 3.3. It is available in Google Play and App Store. Feel free to download it and update to the latest. Now, let's talk about something new, which we just delivered today on the Android in the Google Play, and also it is in the process for the review on the App Store. The feature itself named Watch-Only Wallets, and let's talk about it. But first, let's discuss why are we even delivering something like that, right? What is Watch-Only Wallet? So Watch-Only Wallet is basically a wallet without any secret behind it or without any private key behind it, right? So you can add to the Nova Watch-Only Wallets by just providing address. But why? Why do you need it? So in the Web3 ecosystem, there are tons of the applications which serves the purpose of the portfolio apps, which helps you to understand where are your assets allocated, to see the transaction history, and all of this useful information for you without injecting private keys. So you can just download the app and enter your address and see all this useful data, all right? So these applications usually referred as portfolio apps, and in the Polkadot ecosystem, there are very few of them. So there are a couple of them in the web. So you probably heard about sub-ID, right? And there is none of them on the mobile landscape of the Polkadot until now. So Nova now supports the watch-only wallets. So that was one of the reasons why we decided to support this feature. The second aspect is that we are really focused on making the Nova wallet at the same time as advanced as possible and also as secure as possible. So we decided to proceed with the hardware wallets integration, right? And our first hardware wallets would be first Party Signer, and second, the ledger. So Party Signer is a hardware wallet, I would say a native hardware wallet in the Polkadot and Dotsama ecosystem, right? And the ledger is one of the most popular hardware wallets, which is also supporting a couple of the networks or some of the networks in the ecosystem, right? So we wanted to address these two topics. First, to provide this amazing feature for like adding any wallet without injecting the private key. And the second, prepare the architecture of our mobile application to have more advanced features like hardware wallets integration. So let's talk about use cases a little bit more. So that sums up 3 main use cases. First of all, our users now can not be bothered with I would not say long onboarding, but the process of either creating a wallet in Nova or importing their own wallet or existing wallet to the Nova. Both of the processes are relatively fast, right? So they're not taking like 30 minutes to be completed, but some of the users still would like to first experiment or test or play with the app before doing something like creating the wallet or even importing them. Right. So the first use case is that we would like to provide the baseline for experiment, walkthrough, or playing with the features of Nova before or without injecting the private keys. Right. The second use case is that you can track your own wallets which you don't want to import. And this is pretty much the use case for lots of the users. So some of the users don't want to really inject the private key of the wallets, which have relatively high amount of the tokens, right? Consider or think about the counselors or validators or any other accounts which potentially might have lots of the tokens and might be not really secure to store on your mobile or on your personal mobile device, right? But with that feature, you can just import your wallet to the Nova, and you will see all the data, which is you can analyze like transaction history, balances, and everything, right? You can easily do this now. The third one, I would say that this is kind of exploratory use case, but you can track any wallet in the ecosystem. So let's say you would like to see the counselor account or the validator account, right? Or basically anyone's account, like your son's or your friend account, how it looks like in Nova, and so on. So that's also doable now. So this is main use cases for the watch-only wallet feature itself, right? But I would like to remind you that it was very crucial for us to proceed further with the hardware wallets implementation, but we decided to also deliver this feature because we think that this is really amazing one. So now let's talk about the feature itself and the release which contain that feature. So We just released it on the Google Play. You can go ahead and update your No Wallet to version 3.4 on Android. And for the App Store, it's coming pretty much soon. I would expect it like early next week. But that being said, as I mentioned before, the main purpose is to add any wallet to Nova by just entering the address. And let's go just one by one for all the features that listed here of the release and see how it works in the Nova, right? And let's start with the very first one, which is adding the new wallet type, watch-only wallet. So how it looks now in the app itself. So let me go back to the emulator. I will position it right here so that you can see both like a list of the features and the Nova itself. So let's go now in the wallet management screen and let's add the new wallet, right? Previously, we had two options: create a new wallet or import the new wallet. Import existing wallet using like mnemonic passphrase, row seed, and restore JSON. But that's always about injecting your secret to the mobile app like Nova, right? So now we have this button, add watch only wallet, right? So let's see how it works. Now we're explaining the user briefly what watch only wallet is, like that you can track any activity of any wallet without injecting the private key. We have a preset, so if you don't want to bother yourself with copying and pasting any like addresses, you can just type of any presets. For now, that's just the accounts that we're owning, right? So this is a company account and this is my personal account, but in the production version, you will see our general testing account, which is called Nova. So there will be one preset available. So our users can just tap on that one, and that will autofill the wallet nickname, the substrate address, or the EVM address. But let's do something interesting. Let's just grab any other wallet. Let's grab that one. So you can grab the address from any network like Polkadot, Kusama, or any other Pora chain, right? Sub-ID is acting weirdly, so let's grab something from the Polkadot.js. And let's go back to the Nova. So we hit paste here. I don't recall which address it was, so just let's name console. And EVM address can be just omitted, so it's optional. It's if you would like to see the balances and activity on the Moonbeam, Moonriver, or other EVM networks, you can fill that in, but you can also just don't do anything here. And let's stop continue. And now the node will load any data it's possible to fetch by just querying the wallet address from all of the parachains and the Polka and Kusama themselves, right? So now we can see all of the assets. Hold on, let me switch the hide assets with the zero balances. So now we can see that this particular account holds the DOT token, Kusama token, and Bifrost token, right? So we can also see the transaction history. We can see the balances. We can see the crowd loans contribution if there were any, right? We can even go to the DApps, and in DApps, we will see exactly like the same balances in whatever DApp we will go, right? So DApps are working with watch-only wallets as well. The staking is also a cool one. So if this account is staking, and it is staking, we can see that it is like the staking is active, the total rewards, everything is visible, right? And also notice this small icon, which is always telling you, oh, by the way, Akala node is respondent and the user has some Akala tokens as well. But by the way, notice this small icon on the top right. That always telling you on the main screen, so crowd loans, DApps, staking, settings, always reminding you that you are using watch-only wallet. But this is not enough, right? So if we're going to switch the wallets, we will see that watch-only wallets now has its own category in the wallet list, right? So you can see that all these accounts are actually without any key pair injected, right? So those are only read-only accounts, while this top one have the key pair injected and you can proceed with any operations, right? So this is part of the second feature, right? So we have this new category on all screens, and all screens meaning that if you go to the settings, wallet management, you will also see this, right? You now see these categories. And if you go to the details of the watch-only wallet that we just created, you will also have this additional hint that, hey, this is watch-only wallet, and you can just see all the information, but you cannot do any transactions with this, right? So while we were doing this, we also updated the user interface in a couple of places. So now you can see that we have this the missing switch which we had within the account on the crowd loans page. Now we also have it on the settings page. And yeah, the UI itself was pretty much refreshed, let's say. Now, let's go to the next one. Added notification about no keys when an operation is performed using Nova watch-only wallet. So we were trying to stay on the ground for providing users like a complete experience with Nova by using watch-only wallets. And what I'm meaning by that is that if you go to any operation, like let's say we would like to send Kusama token, right? I'm still able to tap send, right? So I'm able to reach that screen. I'm able to reach any possible amount. Sorry, that's address. I'm able to enter any, yeah, let's grab the, or hold on, let's do something like that. I'm able to see the cross-chain transfer interface for the watch-only wallet, right? If I would like to just see how it works in Nova, I'm able to enter any amount. All fees are calculated, and even I can go proceed further on the confirmation screen, right? So I can see everything what I will have if I will inject the private keys, and I will just use Nova wallet as a, let's say, hot wallet, right? And what my experience will be and how the UX is shaped in Nova. But if I will tap confirm here, you cannot do this because you don't have any keys for this specific account. So Nova will tell you that, yeah, your key is missing, and yeah, let's go back, right? So that allows us to provide like this journey for the users with watch-only wallets, right? But this is a bit dangerous, especially when it comes for the receive screen or the purchase screen, right? That's why we are not allowing to proceed to these features. So users are not able to deposit by mistake the tokens to the wallets which they are not potentially controlling, right? So this is very important. The same for the buy feature. So they cannot access these features using watch-only wallets just because potentially they might not have the keys from that wallet. So we don't want them to do this thing, right? To deposit funds to the wallets they don't control, right? But other than that, you can explore any feature in Nova, like crowd loans, staking operations. You can see all the user interface for all the features we have. And as I mentioned, even the DApps. So if we will go to something like sub-social DApp and we will try to do any operation, Nova will provide us access to the really final screen of the DApp. So let's inject our wallet here. You can see that my wallet was recognized, right? Whenever I will try to do any operation here, yeah, I don't have any sub tokens, so unfortunately I cannot demo this. But as soon as there will be a pop-up to sign this operation, that will tell me the same message that I don't have the keys from this wallet. But I will still be able to reach that, which is very important. All right, Switch Wallet, we just show this new interface. This is exactly that feature. So now you can quickly switch between your wallets on any screen, actually, right? And the performance improvements, that's pretty much interesting one. So Android landscape is pretty different, right? So we have like really powerful devices, as well as we have like a low-end devices. So we put lots of efforts during the past 2 weeks to optimize the performance. And according to our tests, we were able to achieve like a huge success. So if you're running Nova on a relatively low-end device, then you will see significant improvements in terms of the performance. And the Nova itself is a really great application because it connects to multiple networks at the same time and maintain the connection to all these networks in real time. So in any time your balance is changed for any of this asset in any of this network, you will see it automatically updated on this screen, which is amazing. All right, so this is watch-only wallets release. It was provided to the Google Play. We're waiting for the App Store review. But yeah, feel free to let us know how it works for you. Do you like it or not, or how we should expand it further? And let's go back to our demo. And let's talk about the roadmap. So in the Q3, we provided tour staking. We have delivered the cross-chain transfer, and now we deliver the watch-only wallets. Next menu, or next item on our menu, sorry, is a party signer integration. So watch-only wallet implementation now provides us a possibility to relatively easy or much easier than before integrate the party signer, right? So now we have all foundation to proceed with some features like hardware wallets integration, like party signer and ledger, and even go beyond. So think about multi-signature features in Nova, right? It would be much easier now to implement in Nova, just because we worked on the architecture and the signing flow to have this thing whenever we want to sign the transaction which we just generated. We have different, let's say, signatures providers, right? So now the party signer integration would be the next item in our list. After that, we will grab some of the community requested features just to spice it up, right? Because providing two hardware wallets integration would be pretty much security focused flow, right? But we would like to have some features which are increasing the UX, improving UX. So we will have a couple of days dedicated for the community requested features. So that's the roadmap. And that's pretty much sum up it. So party signers next, community requested features, ledger, governance will be coming after the ledger integration. And also we are in the process of applying multiple grants. So stay tuned for the announcement. And if you have any feature in your mind that you would like to see in Nova, feel free to use the link. We will share the slides afterwards. And the recording will be available on the YouTube, so feel free to use this link. But we are hosting the Kenny, which allows you to submit any ideas that you have or any improvement that you would like to have in Nova. And basically our process is to review all this list, provide the feedback or comment or discuss with the original authors, and then saturate our Kusama Treasury proposal. So let's say you will post the feature suggestion here, and then for the next Kusama Treasury proposal, we will grab that feature and deliver it within the next Kusama Treasury proposal. That being said, that will be it from our side. Thank you so much for participation, and I see you in 2 weeks. Cheers.